Sir Davos Seaworth is one of the longest standing supporting characters in Game of Thrones, appearing regularly since his introduction in Season 2. He's still alive and kicking as an integral part of Jon and Daenerys' team for the upcoming Season 8 of Game of Thrones. Today, we're going to take a look at how a low-born smuggler has had an impact in Game of Thrones and theorize about his potential role in the Great War against the Others and the Night King. But before we make our predictions, let's go back in time. The night Jon is attacked and killed by his own men, Davos is the first to be woken by Ghost howling. He finds Jon's body and has it brought inside by some of his loyal Black brothers. Davos realizes that they are all in danger and takes charge of the situation, sending Ed to find Tormund and the wildlings, then barricading them all in Jon's quarters along with Melisandre. Sir Alliser offers them safe passage to the south if they open the door, and he's not fooled by their offer. Davos is pretty smart, knowing that they would kill them. He prepares to fight against the mutineers, but they are saved just in time when Ed and Tormund arrive. Despite his feelings towards Melisandre, Sir Davos begs her to try and resurrect Jon with her powers, and she agrees. They believe the ritual to be unsuccessful, and his friends begin to leave, and Davos is the last one remaining in the room. Of course, moments later, he hears something and returns to find Jon alive, and we see Jon confused and traumatized by his experience. Davos is super important in this situation because he gives him a pep talk and encourages him, then later takes him outside to show himself to the rest of the Watch and confront the mutineers. Davos asks Melisandre about her intentions, and she tells him that she believes Jon is the prince that was promised, so that she will serve him. He presses her for more information about Stannis and Shireen's deaths when they are interrupted by Brienne of Tarth, who recently arrived with Sansa Stark, and Brienne tells them that she executed Stannis for murdering Renly. Davos has always been a great advisor. He advises Jon and Sansa in their plans to take back Winterfell from the Boltons, and he accompanies them on their journey to recruit the other northern houses. Of course, one of my favorite moments was when he made a convincing speech to the reluctant Lady Lyanna Mormont, who agrees to support their fight. Davos is also with Jon when he meets with Ramsay at the parley, which is expected to not work, and they go back to the camp and prepare for battle. We see Davos speak with Tormund as they go walking alone, and he stumbles across the remains of a pyre and is stunned to find the burnt remains of a wooden stag he made for Shireen. The realization dawns on him that this is how Shireen died, burned as a sacrifice by Melisandre. When the battle begins the following day, Jon leads their army while Davos remains at the rear with the reserve troops. When they join the battle, Davos leads them and they all get caught in Ramsay's trap. Of course, Davos survives the crush when the Vale forces arrive and help Jon's side win. But we have to remember, when the battle is over, Davos storms inside to confront Melisandre over Shireen's death, and she admits to Davos that she burned Shireen as a sacrifice to R'hllor. Davos does ask Jon for their permission to execute her, but he declines her request, deciding to banish her from the north and telling her she will be killed if she returns. Once Jon is declared king in the north, Davos is ever present at his side during the meetings with the northern lords and of course the important discussions with Sansa. And he's even there when Jon declares his intention to meet with Daenerys Targaryen at Dragonstone, and it is Davos who chooses to accompany Jon to Dragonstone. When Jon and Daenerys meet for the first time, Davos makes an impassioned speech for Jon and his cause. Davos is important to the discussions between Dany and her council, convinces Gendry to come along to join the fight, and is present at the Dragon Pit when they present evidence of the army of the dead to Cersei. But what does Season 8 have in store for Davos? To quote the man himself, he has never been much of a fighter, so will his role still be as an advisor to those leading the battles, or will he have to step up and join in the fight? When he's pushed, he will pick up a sword, as we saw he was prepared to defend Jon's body from the mutinous Night's Watch brothers, and when he joined the fight in the Battle of the Bastards, he proved himself in battle. Some of the best dialogue in the series comes from Davos' interactions with other characters, and his moving monologues and his speeches. His likely arrival at Winterfell as a member of Jon and Dany's party will see him reunited with the little bear Lyanna Mormont. It was he who convinced her to join Jon and Sansa against the Boltons, which was not an easy task. Hopefully his powers of persuasion will be on point, as he may be needed to convince Sansa and Arya and the Northern Lords that Daenerys is not a threat and they need to unite with her forces in order to face the true threat of the Night's King and his army. If he remains true to form, he could persuade the rest of the North to join them without a problem. Although he has been close to Jon throughout seasons 6 and 7, he has never been officially made his Hand of the King, so that could be on the cards for Game of Thrones Season 8. If there is an Iron Throne left in the end, he would be an invaluable advisor to any monarchy. If not as the Hand of the King, I could definitely see him on any small council as a master of ships. Davos is one of the few characters who hasn't changed much through the series, staying true to his loyal and honest nature and strong sense of what is right and what is just. He has always been accepting of others, seeing past disfigurements, social standing, and even getting along with the wildlings despite having previously fought against them with Stannis. The only person he truly dislikes is Melisandre, and with her expected involvement in the battle against the White Walkers, a reunion between these two is a very real possibility. We have to remember, the last time they saw each other, Davos vowed that he would kill her himself if she ever returned to the North, because of what she did to Princess Shireen. But could we see Davos take on the role of executioner in the upcoming season? After all, Melisandre told Varys that she would die in Westeros, and even if she does return from Volantis with allies for the Northern forces, Davos will expect her to face punishment for her crimes. Sir Davos has been a firm fan favorite since he has appeared in Season 2, but with all of the characters in Game of Thrones, this doesn't mean that his survival is guaranteed. Though he could play an integral role in rebuilding Westeros after the War for Dawn, it would come as no surprise to his fans if he were to meet a grisly fate. It has been rumored that we will see some well-known character as whites, and could you imagine a sadder moment than an undead Sir Davos rising with those familiar blue eyes? That kind of scene has the potential to be Season's 8 hold the door moment. Personally, I would like to see Sir Davos survive and grow old, and I can definitely see him playing a grandfatherly role to Jon and Daenerys' child in the future, if they do have one. But what are your thoughts and predictions for Sir Davos in Season 8, everyone? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you if you got this far. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Sir Davos is one of my favorite characters, so make sure you leave your thoughts on what you think is going to happen with Sir Davos in Game of Thrones Season 8. Of course, if you liked the video, you can feel free to leave a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel if you do want to see more Game of Thrones content. And if you're really into getting more Game of Thrones content, that bonus kind of content, the hype content, you can subscribe to my channel on Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you all in the next video. Hype and love.